Absolutely. That's what this world needs more of. Humor. Everybody gets offended so easy.
Don't.
Oops.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Move on to statement of public notice. The agenda was posted on the internet and at the town hall. Roll call, everybody's here except Doug.
Okay, that means that you're live. And you're still in reserve.
Yep. Okay. I'll take a motion to adopt the agenda posted.
I make a motion to adopt the agenda as posted.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed. Motion carried. Approval of prior minutes of the 10/29/24.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of 10/29/24.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. I will abstain because I was not here. Is there any additions or corrections to minutes? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed. Motion carried. Okay. Move on to 144th remaining work for completion. 2025.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. In regards to 144th Avenue, the work for this season is complete, as it probably is no surprise at this point. The gravel base courses are completed, so the next part of construction will be paving. The paving will occur in the spring, early summer of next year. So at this point, the work remaining is the paving and any shouldering and punch list items that may come up over the winter and with any restoration that may need to be touched up after winter that doesn't take. The other items that are happening with that project right now, the Board has already authorized one payment to the developer for the town's portion of the roadway. Another payment will be forthcoming shortly in regards to engineering costs. The first payment was purely construction costs. There's engineering and construction inspection costs that are also part of the town's amount that would be participated in. And those are being considered. The developers also asked for a reduction in the letter of credit, reduce the amount based on the work that's been completed. And the final plat is going to the board here in December. The board, our understanding from previous discussions with the board is that they are willing to allow the final plat to occur before the final paving is complete. There's precedent for some of the final paving to be incomplete before the final plat, but I think in this particular case, considering the fact that there are gravel roads in the town, and this is a relatively small development, they're comfortable with allowing the final plat to be completed before the final paving. So that's what will be going to the board in next Thursday on 144th Avenue.
I have a question on 144th, Lee.
Mhm.
On the gravel's on, of course, and I haven't been up there, my fault. But are the right of ways stabilized for the season?
That is my understanding, yes.
That they're gonna wake up and be stabilized in the spring?
That is the hope. And again, that's one of the issues that we always look for in the spring is if that all takes and if there's any kind of, deterioration that occurs.
Yeah, it's punch list, but
Yeah.
they got put to bed.
Correct.
Stabilized.
Yes, the project is set for the winter.
Yep.
Seated.
Seated and blanketed. I'd have to look and see exactly what it is. Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
I mean, it's like if something is left more than 7 days, it needs to be stabilized.
Yeah. That's taken care of. Correct.
When I was out there the last time, which is a good month ago, but it looked like the final gravel and everything was on.
Correct.
That top coat of gravel is real loose. And my only concern is that we get some moisture packed in there to get that frozen down really well. Otherwise, we're gonna have a lot of gravel in the ditch.
So I don't know what the timing of is when you were out there, but we saw that issue. We knew that was an issue. There was an issue with a lack of moisture. And so we did bring out fines and we did, a finer mix to kind of mix it in and try to get that harder pack and water it down. So I think they've tried to take care of that. So it's possible they did that after you were out there. But that was an issue that they were working with.
Okay.
So it's known.
It's set up and the contractor did a beautiful job hydro seeding it. And bale stabilizing it, and then the same thing with the road. They set it up nice, they rolled it. After they put fines on it.
Okay.
I was out there because I was concerned with the residents on the road, were they satisfied? The two homes.
I was just out there today and it looks good compacted for now and I mean, it's just like any normal gravel road, we're gonna end up with something in the ditch during the winter, but they're only gonna plow east and west anyhow. They're not plowing any of the subdivision itself, so.
Right.
So should be good. May have to retrieve some of it next fall or spring, whatever. That'll work in when they do their final blacktopping and stuff too, so.
Correct.
Okay,
It may be as simple as having Schmitz plow that with a pickup truck or with a lighter plow.
so
To keep from
they
scraping
don't
down.
plow that. Spits don't plow that. 2 minutes.
Oh, that's too much. That's right. Okay.
Okay, let's move on to the 2025 project discussion. Including crack patching and sealer coat. Sure.
All right, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. This spreadsheet should look familiar to what we've been looking at for the last few months. Basically, this shows what we had planned on for next year. The change to it that you'll note are the roads highlighted in yellow. Those roads were done with this year's project because there was additional budget. You may recall we had those discussions about doing these roads. So I left them on there so it's easy to see that they were originally part of the discussion. But we highlighted them and then we took the cost off of the other end because it won't be in next year's project. So the map attached also shows the roads that are in play for next year. And then the area that is circled there in black and highlighted in black are those 3 roadways that are highlighted in yellow on the first page, just for reference. So you can kind of see what was done. So again, these roads have not changed in the last few months. I'm trying to recollect, Mr. Chair, what the budget is for next year. What was finalized? Is the budget on that finalized or is that happening here yet in December?
Yeah, it's already finalized.
And what was the number again? And if we need to look it up, that's fine too.
300,000. I remember right. Was it what, 300,000?
I don't pay attention.
Something like that. So
Okay. So it looks like there could be some wiggle room here. So what I would suggest,
I think the other thing that we need to bring forward is there's probably gonna be a heavy discussion on Scott Road. I know Hudson's gonna come forward with fixing that.
well, that's not us.
As far as I'm concerned, we're gonna share and getting the whole thing one steady piece.
We already did our end.
Oh,
Our end has already been chip sealed. That's all done to the town line. Anything on the other side is all Hudson.
I would
Whatever
say Bob is right that St. Joe looks great and
Our end is
Hudson
good.
looks awful.
Our end is in really good
well,
shape.
we can all agree upon that then, but
Yeah, so that's their pot of gold that they have to dig up, not ours.
Well, what do you say, Chris, what are you saying? Why would Scott Road be on the? I mean,
Well,
well,
we
you got a
can-
couple blocks of
we-
Scott Road.
we can ignore the conversation, and the conversation was to do the whole thing. That road is the same underneath of it as it is on their end.
We just did our end.
Oh, you're talking about, they're thinking about a total reconstruct and we should
Well-
reconstruct our section? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, not total reconstruct, but mill it down and.
Mill and overlay?
Like a reclaim and pave?
If, we don't need to settle it tonight, but if you guys are really gonna accept that's how we're gonna live with our end of it, fine,
I don't.
but.
So what Bob is saying is we've already done some work on it. and Now Hudson wants to go in and do a mill and overlay.
Well. I don't, yeah, but I
And
don't
then
mean ours is up to standards by any mean, when you got somebody coming down the line. Overhauling it, and then we got a piece that's. Half
Isn't.
wore out,
Yeah,
are we gonna,
Well, we just seal coated that 2 years ago.
and you know
Yeah.
what, I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you, are you gonna use brakes that are 50% to 0, or are you gonna use them from 50% to 100%, right? If they're gonna be doing work. Are we gonna have this conversation or ignore it? That's all I'm bringing up.
We have nothing else out there that would need construction in the next few years. So if Hudson's going to mill and overlay that, this may be a good time to do it.
I agree.
Just, Bob, Just, Chris, just for discussion, how many percent of a mile is our Scott Road portion?
I don't have that answer.
That would be your question. The next one would be, what is the cost to the town of St. Joe to do the mill and overlay in conjunction with the town of Hudson? And then you can have a discussion.
would be-
how
It
that-
looks like about 800 feet.
how
It
that
would be a
fits.
relationship with Hudson would share with us what our costs would be if we had a dialogue with them.
It's real nice that they have a member of their council or somebody sitting here to have that discussion.
This,
I know how
this
to-
is just a workshop.
That would be my thought about it in terms of dollars and cents.
Yep, and now I have the information of having a better discussion.
Yeah, I think we need to keep that on our list of possibilities. or
Yeah.
Alternates.
Yeah.
We can go ahead with it or not go ahead with it.
Right, I'm
Are
just,
you doing a mill and overlays this year? Or would you just use the other part would be, are we doing a mill and overlay, or would you just do it as part of theirs and just pay them? That's
my
your-
second
that's your-
choice is that, yes, we can afford that part. We would have them inspect whoever's doing the full thing and pay.
It would make sense to have two vendors out there.
No,
Correct. That's, yeah, I'm just bringing it up and we'll see how far it goes. The other fun part about it is they're getting their finances in order. We'll see.
The trucks do most of that tearing. Was it just not managed police wise? I mean, that last couple weeks that detour was there, it just disintegrated.
Well,
it was bad. It was bad at the beginning of the detour though,
Yeah.
too.
Okay. But then it just,
They're patching, we both patched it about a year ago, or was it 2 years ago? Their patching did not hold up. Whatever they did. Ours seems to be
it
where
was
it's holding
the
up.
county flim plan for them.
Okay,
So what we actually did with our end was
Yeah,
went in there and we milled off parts, the bad sections. And then we seal coated the whole thing. So. But that, I was on the board back in the day. Where that road was originally constructed, our
Yeah.
end. And the county did it at that time, so. If depending on what cost it is. And who's doing it is. The other deal. So if you're gonna have the county do it. I also want a. Other contractor to do our end, to find out where cost would be between the county and. A private contractor that would do ours.
Lee,
That's where I look at cost from here and cost from there. And which one's gonna be the best and which one's gonna be the cheapest.
yeah.
So,
Lee, on this map is one square. It looks like it's 1,500 feet, the length of one square. I'm reading the legend right. Scale.
Roughly, so would that really be like? Think here,
The cost of being
so wouldn't it be
Proactive.
1320?
needs to be set up.
That's what I'm wondering. I don't know what one
Compared to
square
being
really
down
is
the
there.
road.
Well, they're 40s, aren't they?
no, I think it's
Is
a
it
great
gonna be less
discussion, Chris.
expensive
It
to be
is.
Proactive
Makes
With them?
perfect sense.
than to wait 2 years and have the whole thing have to be done again on its own.
Yeah, I looked at.
There's a lot of positives about being proactive.
Efficient for the whole goddamn thing and stuff.
Treat it as an alternate on our side.
Yeah, I think keep it as an alternate in their list.
Cause. It's on their pecking.
Oh, yeah, they have to do something with it. For dang sure.
Well, it would just make. It's common sense that if they're gonna do a project that size and we've got 1,500 feet of a 10,000 foot project, that we just do the whole section of road as a service to not only St. Joe's residents, but just the residents in our area in general, and just get it done
Mhm.
and pay. We'll pay the 1,500 feet that's in St. Joe's and you pay for the rest. One company does it. And that's pretty simple and cut and dry. I don't think it's complicated.
No.
You just know whether it's good or bad.
Right.
So,
And that's one less thing,
And it's not pretty.
and it's one less thing we have to do in the future.
so I'm gonna shorten this discussion. I make a motion that we add our section of, or the St. Joe section of Scott Road as an alternate to next summer's work. Pending information from Hudson, what town of Hudson's going to do.
Yeah.
And your second?
Okay, motion made and seconded. All in favor, is that,
I,
Right.
I,
opposed? Motion carried. Okay,
It sounds like we're set
What
then
else-
for the
what
twenty
else do we wanna
twenty-five project
discuss
at the
on this?
moment.
pardon?
We'll revisit it in January.
where were we?
Told you I'd shorten this discussion.
There you go.
So how do you get, oh, that's right, it's already voted on, done, but as an alternate, 1,500 feet of Scott Road, you're just gonna work on that when the bid comes out?
So my
Or for bid?
understanding is that further discussion with Hudson will happen.
Yes,
And this particular road is an alternate potentially as a part of next year's project, but not part of the seal coat project.
okay, that's,
It's,
that
it's
answers
an
my,
alternate work order item that could be attached to Hudson's project.
Yep.
If it happens at all.
that's a
Yes.
great way to say it.
Yep.
Yep,
It's my understanding.
perfect.
We will
Yeah.
partner with Hudson if need be.
Their finances are on the forefront and we'll go from there.
so one let just,
How else do you want to say it?
Huh?
Say, how else do we? wanna
60th
say
to
it?
Valley View to County Road I. 62nd Street has a, what do I call it, an apron driving from as it goes northbound, it was blacktop partially. And then we milled that all off and put it back to gravel. So we have that, still that apron, and that's pretty cracked up.
Where
So-
exactly is this again?
62nd Street.
62nd Street.
I was gonna talk to Mike on it.
Oh, yeah, that's the one we milled up, right?
Yeah, we milled off, but we didn't do the north end where you would come to the stop sign.
Okay,
There's probably oh, I'm gonna say 300 feet maybe, that we should look at either milling it off or just crack sealing and seal coating with the Valley View project.
okay.
It wouldn't be that much cost for that.
So either mill it up or crack seal,
Yeah,
okay?
crack seal and seal coat. As long as we're there, we might as well do it. So
Okay,
Lee, I have a question for you, and it's just, what is the, in the subtotals, under 20% contingency it's indirect. What is indirect? What is that?
so the 20% contingency is just for bidding.
Right?
Indirect is things like engineering design, engineering construction inspection, any other costs, attorney reviewing contracts, all those types of things.
Okay.
And that's usually a healthy budget item typically our projects come in underneath those projected
Yeah, yeah,
amounts,
yeah.
typically.
Okay.
Now, of course, that I say that, you know, but typically they do.
We'll hold you to it. Okay.
Just FYI, because we had $58,000 in the budget left over from our seal coat crack seal project. It's in the minutes here, from last time I was in here. But, being that Birch Park was so cracked up, we seal coated the cracks or crack sealed that. We also did 138th at 31st and 33rd Street, which is north on the Brown subdivision. We also did the White Eagle Road and White Eagle Lane, I think it is, the little cul-de-sac up there. And we also did the Golf Course Road. We crack sealed that. And the first entrance from County Road B up past the
Clubhouse.
overload parking got milled off and new blacktop put down. So that's our $58,000. So we're in my calculations, we are $58,000 ahead that we can use for the 2025 projects.
Sure. And that's why I was asking, what is your total budget?
Yeah,
Cause you know, we took those out.
yeah,
The things that we did. So again, if your budget's 300,000 and you're at 225 right now.
Yeah.
You've got this potential mill and overlay or whatever of Scott Road, you know, you might be back to about 300,000. Depending on what they're planning on doing to the road. So,
Well, also at this point, we're going to have some leftover snow plowing money.
Yeah.
Don't jinx us. for God's sakes.
Well, no, it's
Oh.
The 31st is almost in sight.
No, it's because any snow plowing in December gets submitted in January. So snow plowing bills are done for the year.
There you go, Chris.
yeah. That goes to 25.
We just got the 6-foot kiss of death.
Yeah.
Christmas Eve.
But it's, we do have extra money in that particular budget, but we did a lot of shouldering and tree cutting, our tree budget was $100,000 this year because of all the damage, tree damage and stuff like that. So some of that money went into, from the snow plowing contract went into that to pay for that, so. Once we get the final on that, so,
You're raining on my parade now.
what's that?
You're raining on my parade.
I know it could be snowing on 10 feet though. Anyhow, okay, Lee, we're done with that project there,
correct.
okay. I'm gonna bring up under other road projects.
Okay.
Lee, so what's the status on the project that was done on whatever farm it was down off of 60th on there? On the south of County Road E?
I'm trying to think what you're referring to.
South side of County Road E,
The new
Oh,
addition.
Artisan Farms.
Artisan Farm.
Yeah, 60th.
So has that been approved by the board?
Yes,
Okay, so then
Yep.
we can start snow plowing that.
yes. Yes.
Okay, I
That
just-
final plat was approved.
I just
Yep.
wanted to make sure that
Yep.
got done.
Yeah, it still has some punch list items for next year, mostly having to do with the issue that you brought up,
No parking signs.
restoration, things like that, so.
Yeah,
there's another lift of asphalt.
Right.
oh, there still is another
I think
lift?
there is, yep, because
So
they're
how-
supposed to have a freeze thaw. in between.
So how
That's the
can
norm.
we, how can we say we take it over, or the board made the motion to take it over? Even though the first, second lift hasn't been put on?
I'll have to double check that.
The stress that we were under.
Cause otherwise Smiths are not plowing it. It'll be,
I'll check it. I'll check. I'll
Yeah,
double check.
get back to me on that. Let me know so
Yep.
I can give Smitty's a heads up.
First
one
thing
way
in
or
the
the other.
morning. First thing in the morning, I'll check.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Anybody see any road damage issues out there? About. There's spots out there that I see that will be potential patching or something next spring. They're good right now. They'll hold up through the winter. But, I've been running roads at least 3 times a month, so. Yep. Moving on, to the next issue. Is signage.
We done with it?
So on Valley View Trail, we had a 35-mile-an-hour speed limit sign stolen. And also Valley View Trail and 50th Street sign stolen. And we could catch these thieves in the middle of the night and arrest them. Like federal offense, just like stealing mail out of a mailbox. And other signage issues?
Yes. So we can go around the room and I'll collect your answer from you once I explain this. So all of our no parking signs on Nelson Farm Lane were stolen, took it away.
Not all of them. There's still some there.
They post and all or just?
Post and all.
sign?
Post it all.
Really?
Most of them.
There's only one man down there with the equipment to do that. I'm not gonna mention his name.
Oh, really?
I
Going on?
I was down there today checking that out, and I know the individual you're talking about and his neighbor, maybe 2 neighbors.
Yeah.
And
2 neighbors came here in front of the board. And we shared with them this is what we decided and this is what you're gonna live with. So then they chose to be vigilantes, so there's some signs missing. I kind of thought it was fun that the signs are missing from in front of the people's homes who had an issue with our decision. Just, it was weird.
Yeah.
And so I already have a solution. We'll see what you guys.
Okay.
I think St. Clair County Highway deputies should be out there.
That they were
Somebody on
enacted
board.
for this, but
But are we gonna find them on their property? That's the next thing. Where did they take them and dump?
I hope they bring them up to the recycling center to get rid of.
Oh, that'd be nice. Yeah.
Well, note that the first thing that you see when you turn onto Nelson Farm Lane is a big sign that says no parking on Nelson I'm sorry, Nelson Farm Road.
Yeah,
Is no parking along all of Nelson Farm Road and Nelson Farm Lane.
yeah,
They see it right when they come in.
yeah.
Yep.
The no parking signs are secondary. I would think that we could tow without replacing those signs.
Easy,
Yeah,
it should
now,
be there.
easy what you're saying.
Yeah, well, we could.
The toes
I should-
are.
I could say we could enforce without having to put all those signs back up.
Yeah,
Economical wise, all the way around. That's a great idea, Mark. Keep going around the room.
I guess that's my statement.
Good one. Bob?
But I'm for looking at whose ever property the signs were on, they're not their property, the road right away where the signs were put up. Those are the culprits. And there should be an investigation by the sheriff's department, or the board should direct the sheriff's department to go pound on doors with a search warrant to find out if they're on their property. They probably already dumped them, but, and they get a warning that the signs will be back up. They're caught taking them out again, they will be prosecuted by law. That's my whole look.
Okay,
I get so, you know, it's taxpayer dollars are put into these and a lot of effort. You can look at Tuma's bill for putting all these signs up on First Lake Road. We had an issue on First Lake Road right across from you, where we put the stake in to put the sign up. They pulled the stake out. We finally ended up putting the sign, the no parking sign, on a stop ahead sign. But it's just the issues with these people that they think that 66 feet is not the road right away. They think it's still their property. They pay taxes to the center of the road, just like every Tom, Dick, and Harry in this country does. But in the end, it's hands off of public. The signs belong to the public. So
May I ask, how close to the state park area, the bike trail, are the signs missing from?
They ain't missing on the road.
they're not missing on that
The
road.
lane is where they're
It's
missing.
only the lane. Okay, that's,
Is this the road that goes left off of? Mhm.
Yeah.
And so it's the residents on that road
Yeah.
that were taking the signs
Yep.
allegedly?
And
And why did we put the signs up again in the first place? Was it because the
Because-
residents were complaining about?
Yeah, so
parking?
so let's go back to this. So we had two homeowners here in front of us last month who said that we were inconsiderate in putting them up and how could we have done this? And I had educated them on, hey, the rest of your fellow homeowners down there brought this concern forward, and this is how we dealt with it. Well, obviously, they wanted their names and phone numbers, and they're not entitled to that stuff. I said, they're not here to represent themselves, and nor do they need to be. And those gentlemen, you could tell weren't absorbing any of our
Were any of the,
comments.
were any of the folks that wanted the signs up, were they on the lane or were they on the main road?
No, there
Yeah,
is
you
no
know.
one on the main road.
Oh, they're all on the
you're all
lane?
on the lane.
Yep, there is no homes on the road. How we got to this point was, I was invited down there several times to witness the conduct of people. And what it was on each side of the road, cars parked, doors open, kids running around, shit everywhere, no concern
Right.
for anybody, and I decided, you know what? This gotta stop because this ain't cool. And then also, the fire chief said the same thing. We can't get down here if he even had one side, just no parking. It should be both sides. I'm like, agreed. There's no.
Yep.
There's no respect. And then the bigger value added to this is that we also went, hey, we need to have a discussion with the state park on enlarging parking lots. That one of them discussions took place. They're gonna start improving lots in the spring.
They already kind of have started working on that, haven't they, enlarged one lot already
No,
off of
I'm
River
not
Road?
gonna speak about that. They're gonna be enlarging them quite a bit.
Okay, so I think accepting that these were stolen by disgruntled unlawful citizens. I think condoning that and just not replacing the signs is giving a nod to those folks. And I think one of the big problems we have in this town is enforcement of ordinances and just laws. We don't enforce. And I think that'd be a big mistake not to, I mean, there are signs around that shouldn't be up and nobody's enforcing anything. And what's the point of having,
Well, to
say, what's the point of doing things for the general concern of the public safety and then allowing a few bad actors to go in there, mess with it, break the law, and then letting them get away with it?
So there's a couple pieces here. So enforcement of the parking stuff, I've had vehicles towed. I'm the guy that deals with that.
I know that. I'm talking about stealing signs.
Okay, this is
Putting
long,
signs,
because this
or
is,
putting signs where they don't belong.
well, this is an open meeting and I'm just making specific of what you're saying and wanting to.
Well, you
educate
wanted
you.
my opinion, so that's
Yep.
my opinion.
Right, and I'm accepting that. What I was dialing in was enforcement of parking or enforcement of signs, okay? So, you know,
All of the above, enforcement.
yeah,
And one of the bad scenarios of it all, perpetrators seem to know how to circumvent the law. And they don't have any problem doing it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
until they get caught.
Right, but I mean, that's their theory.
Yep.
Yeah.
They gotta catch me first.
Okay.
I think we're done with Lee. You wanna leave? Or you wanna stay for a while?
Lee wants to put in his 2 cents.
I have something for Lee before,
Okay,
not on the side.
You better chime in.
I'm waiting,
This
I'm
one.
waiting.
He's
Bob
smiling.
has told me before that he's told me to hush up until it was my turn, but I'm getting better at it.
You're on the block.
We're all on this committee here to represent 4,400 residents of St. Joe Township, right?
Yep.
Right? So we're trying to do the best. Okay. If those signs are sitting out behind the guy's pole barn, he needs to be fined for that. Right? The ones that got pulled. Is there an investigation going on where those signs might be?
yes,
Perfect. We'll let the police take their course. But yes, I think they should be reprimanded for that. The right of way is the right of way. 66 feet. So. I mean, I listened to Bob and. I like Mark's idea too with the signs on each end. On that case, it's only the one end when you go in. Perch Lake Road is different. It's on both ends. But. Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
there you go.
I had 2 options. My one option is to have a bigger sign made that says parking. Apparently,
It's their data.
yeah. Yeah,
Irritating.
But you can't do that. What's your,
yeah, you
oth-
can,
really?
if St. Croix County gets involved. Cause
Okay,
every county sign does have one.
okay.
So you're saying direct people to where there are no parking signs?
And what's your other
That makes
option?
sense.
Put them back.
Yep. So what's your second one?
And-
Parking.
Okay,
Or put them back up.
oh, yeah, okay.
And that's exactly how I feel as you can thumb to us, but I ain't taking it away them down.
Okay.
Because we still have the map of where they were. And they can go back there.
Locates should still be good. I mean, that's.
Yeah.
I mean, not that they're good.
No,
You know where the locates were put down.
Yep.
Like when the sign or the lath got pulled or whatever at Perch Lake Road. That it's already been located. You could see the gas, you could see NSP. Put the sign right there. You didn't need to re-lath it. That's for dang sure. Locates were already done.
I didn't count.
Yes, the number doesn't matter. It's just the fact, what.
So I make a motion to replace the signs on Nelson Farm Lane.
Second.
Motion made, and seconded. Any more discussion? There ain't none. All in favor, say aye.
I,
Opposed? Motion carried.
Um. Now or spring?
Spring.
Okay, and you amending your motion?
I'm amending my motion, replace the no parking signs spring of 2025.
Second.
Okay, motion. Motion made and seconded, and amended. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. All right, that's your question to Lee, so he can head on back to Woodbury.
I asked Lee to investigate the potential or what it would take for us to change some of the speed limit signs in Holton, because we have a mix of 25 mile an hour and 35 mile an hour going through there. And it's really not consistent. If you come out of the roundabout, it's 35, you go 300 feet, it's 25. I haven't measured it out, but it goes down at 25 for a ways, then it comes back up to 35.
Wasn't
I
the
think-
code, we could change it by 10?
Well, I think this is a little different from the standpoint, if you're talking about coming out of a roundabout. You know, my feeling is you can do a couple of different things. You could move the 25 closer. Or you can just remove the 35. And let people come out of that thing within a couple hundred feet, they're gonna see the 25 anyways.
Okay,
So, you know, those are things that can be considered, you know, going the other way, and coming back towards the roundabout, it's less of an issue. Where you decide to make that break, obviously, so. You wanna try to be consistent probably with across the streets. So either of those things that I just talked about probably work, you just need to make the southbound side, you know, move that sign to be consistent with it.
Can I put that as an agenda item on next month's?
Sure.
thing?
Yep.
And then everybody here can drive that and see what the feeling
Yep.
is. I think it would be easier if we standardized, especially through the older part of Holton, on 25 miles an hour until we get at least up to the area of not the park and ride, but the parking lot up there.
north to south and south to
By
north
the
from
Cajun Club.
like
Yeah, up to the Cajun Club.
the bar, okay?
Well, it should be consistent with the last house on
Yeah, the last house, which is,
Main Street.
yeah, that's pretty easy
So
with the
if you-
Cajun Club.
If you start at 25 at that house, all the way consistent to the south is 25 miles an hour. Or like Lee said, you could go 35 off the roundabout and then put a 25 and then it's consistent all the way.
If everybody could take a look and let's see what we think about where 25 should start and end there.
Are you talking about the roundabout right by 64?
Mhm.
The roundabout, the south
the
end
inner
of,
one,
and
Oh,
the
the
furthest west. one.
35.
the end of south end of Holton.
Furthest,
On
Okay.
35, old 35.
35, all the way back up to
by the
where,
county garage.
The old-
right there.
Okay, okay.
all the way
County
up to
garage.
the last house before the old drive-in theater. So that whole thing would be
25.
from north to south would be 25 miles an hour.
Yeah, so then we're including the trailer park
So
entrance.
we could still
Yes.
get
There.
new girl signs. Mounted on.
On the same signage.
Yeah.
Economical.
Car wash.
I don't know, shit.
Okay. All right,
Thank you, Lee.
have a
Nope.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Lee.
Yep.
Happy
See you next year. On my birthday,
Unbelievable.
bring a cake.
He's bringing a cake.
I have a cake up there for my birthday,
I seen that cake there. Wondering what was going on.
my birthday.
You had lunch today, in other words,
Oh, my God.
because you didn't carry it in when you come in here.
There's people that love me here.
Even like nine.
Oh, yeah, they're in the cupboard.
Okay.
So much is buried.
Yep,
Night.
so-
Night.
Thank you. Okay, let's move on. Traffic report. Back to you, Mark.
None,
None?
done for the year.
Okay. All right. So let's move on to tractor and more equipment replacement discussion. So what'd you come up with, Chris?
Well, I guess I failed to ask for, printouts so everybody could look at them, so I'll have to do that for next time around. The current tractor is parked because, the DEF fluid doesn't like this weather, so we ain't gonna mow anymore. And then, for the spring regardless, we'll send it up to Baraboo and get its annual makeover before we start for the spring. That's about all the hiccups I have for that.
Okay.
We did put the mower all back together and was out mowing till the weather changed. That's all I have.
Mhm.
So we're gonna send it to Baraboo, we're gonna send it to Rice Lake.
That's a great discussion. I'll probably just send it to Rice Lake. Yeah. that's
Somebody that
fine.
knows what the hell they're doing instead of
Yeah,
somebody that doesn't.
that's a telltale sign, yes.
Is
Cause
there,
we're looking at a big pile of money that was spent on that tractor that shouldn't have been.
could it get taken out there, early next week? You see the weather?
That's a good
34.
Point.
34
Yeah.
on Monday and just, I mean, it's gonna be January, it's gonna be February. We're gonna try to get it there. Whether it sits in this cold garage or whether it sits in their yard and
I
comes,
like your thought process. That's
comes
fine.
through rotation,
Yeah,
it can get its service and it's ready to go right out to pasture or whatever,
Yeah.
right away in the
I'm
spring.
fine with that.
You think they're willing to let it sit in on their property that long?
Well,
No, I like his
They'll-
thought that it's 30-degree days, it'll light up, they'll load it. Next time it's 30 degrees over there, they'll light it up, bring it back.
so you might get that in January, February,
Oh, get it done in the winter.
get
Yeah,
yeah.
it serviced.
Oh, I got.
Cause
you.
it's
Oh,
gotta
I
go
got
through a
you.
service
No,
program.
No, that's a great idea.
It doesn't like 0 or 5 degrees.
Oh.
Nobody likes that.
Yeah.
But whether it
Thanks.
sits in this cold garage until whatever,
Yeah.
get it serviced, get it
No,
ready to go.
That's valid. In fact, when it is done, it would be warm, and if they put it on a low boy, they bring it right over.
Yep.
I'm fine with that.
34 for a high on Monday.
Okay. Move on, completion work orders, everything that Todd's had done, he's already done, he's done for the winter, he's put his plow on and everything's done out there that we can do. We did, Steve Smith, we gave him a work order to do 62nd Street, we had some big holes that we're on the north end by the blacktop I was talking about previously, and he went in there and graded the whole thing out, so the holes should be pretty good. We also had Trout Brook Road that, due to weather concerns, by the time he would have got down there to do that, he said it would have been too cold anyhow, so we just, and I was down there again today, and that's, oh, just let them people bop through the holes down there for a while. Snowplow should smooth them out a little bit once we start plowing, so. And tractor maintenance and issues, we just covered that. Maintenance issue that covered by above. I don't think there are any. Winter snow plowing status right now, we're out yesterday and we've salt and sanded some of the roads. And we'll keep an eye on that, so we're supposed to get another inch or two tomorrow or something, and so it's at 35, the temperature is gonna go back and forth, so. We'll have to just keep an eye on when it's slippery out there and the potential of the drivers that don't know how to drive in winter. And as I was out there today, driving a few roads, I seen about 4 or 5 of them where they had been in the ditch already, and you know,
Yeah.
I go, shoot yourself in the foot because your vehicle got damaged or whatever, and so anyhow. Winter tree cutting,
There's some trees hanging over Blacktop on 60th, just north of your place, Mark, going through that little curve and coming up. There's some box elters that are creeping right out over the blacktop.
we can take a look at different. After the first year, see how the weather conditions are and get the tree service in, and we can mark some trees.
Yep.
that need to come down.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
mean, if
We
you
gotta-
wanna go out with me and I see some that. I know we have some on Valley View between where 47th Street, we just had a tree go down there not too long ago. And there's about 8 sitting up there, and when Todd and my nephew Mike. Went there to take the tree off, Mike looked at the other trees and said they're all cracked and they're ready to go anyhow, so. That would be one group of trees, and there's other ones out there that I've seen today too.
Yeah.
Perch Lake Road has some. Down at the bottom of the hill that are.
They sure do, yep.
Box elder trees, and they need to be taken down, so we'll,
Before they fall on the road.
yeah.
Yep.
So there's
We
one
had 3 of them go down right by Fox Ridge here, but
right out in front of East Oaks.
yeah,
There's also one on East Oaks over the hill. I don't know if the residents cleared it. It fell completely across
yeah.
the road. And a big chunk of it's lying right on the shoulder. It's too big for me. I was gonna push it down, but it's too big.
yeah.
I don't know, if Todd took that one off the road or one of the residents there did, but
Yep.
that on the side of the road, it needs to be pushed into the
Yep.
ditch.
Okay, let's move on here. No other work needed to be done right now, so. We'll take a look at your. Review the bills and expenditures for the previous month. Any questions on anything?
I just have a question on just a clarification on the 12 grand that went out on the tractor repair. I'm assuming that that was the primary end result of the repair, but what about all the several mistakes that they made and all that stuff? We didn't pay for that, did we?
No, so the education that I went and met with them again, cause I was hot about this whole thing,
Yep.
is. There was a full service on there. And all the workup of that was a couple thousand or whatever.
You know,
And then the initial failure in there, they would not admit that it's a
Tech problem.
international problem, right? And it's our problem. Everything that was self-destructing and turning catastrophic, they absorbed. So I didn't see any other professional way out of it, and I accepted that first bill.
That's the original invoice.
Correct. But I was adamant about that, hey, the thing failed. I was standing there when your staff told me that this is an international problem, and he's like, it failed. It was on your tractor. Like, it ain't like I can sit there and argue.
Okay, I just wanted to know what clarification was on that.
Yeah,
You won't be doing business with them again.
well, we'll be taking it to Rice Lake, same,
Yeah, no, I mean, when we renew our equipment.
oh, yeah,
It's hard to say never in this world.
yeah.
Well,
Well, and what's fun is,
usually.
all of that stuff is gonna be changing over to CH Holdings, you know, Holland is scooping up all of that stuff.
That's all I had on this.
Are we gonna try to put a
Any other
new,
questions on the budget?
we're gonna try to put a new tractor in service for spring of 26?
Somewhere in there, yeah, it's up in the paperwork for 2025. Everybody on the board is aware of it.
Yep.
Chris, motion to replace the signs,
Yeah,
the no parking signs. That have to go to the board.
Yep.
sure,
That's an item to go to the board?
Yep.
sure.
Okay, let's see, we're done with that, we're done with that, we're done with that. Okay, opportunity to speak on subjects. Anybody here got a comment?
I do. I got just one. Perch Lake Park has expanded their parking inside. Did anybody notice that or went through the park lately?
Oh,
Just after you
Up on
get
top of the hill?
way up on
I
top.
think they did 30 lots or something like that, 30 units, right?
You get past the check-in, you get past the maintenance. And you start getting down either heading towards the playground or down towards the lake. They added parking
Oh,
off both sides, just immediate turn in. And I would say that there's at least 30 or something that they've added there, so.
that's good.
And you were saying that the county is working on enlarging parking for the state park, off of,
The state park
The
is
state is working.
enlarging their parking lot.
yep, I said that wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, just so we're all
Is that slated for spring?
correct.
Okay. Are you still on parks, Lori? Okay,
so I make one comment, as I was driving, checking on Troutbrook Road or Nelson Farm Road today. Where the bike trail was and the walking trail that goes across. There's a sign there that says no bikes on this trail. So, yep. The big sign about yay big,
It's total
says
mayhem.
no bikes on the trail.
I wonder if that's for winter,
Could be for winter.
because they
but
do snowshoeing and cross-country skiing.
Yeah,
That's,
could be.
that's gotta be,
No, it's official. It's official.
Yeah, it's an official sign.
It's seasonal.
yeah.
It's,
There's plenty of people that go out and do winter biking,
Fat tire.
but, yeah.
but Video, they put a sign up there that says no Viking, so. That'll stop some of the cars down there. I didn't see any cars down there today, so.
The sign out says no hiking, cross-country ski trail only.
Yeah,
No, that's for the summer.
It's,
That'd get stolen.
okay, we have the items for the
The town board agenda, the Nelson Farm Lane signs, just the fact that we want to replace them.
Happy colleague.
Next public works agenda, and Holden speed signs. Really nothing else. Date for the next public works committee. Will be. Oh, come on here. January
7.
7.
January 7th.
That, I make a motion, we adjourn.
Okay, motion made. We have a second. Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. 7-5.
How old are you now, Chris?
yeah.
How old is he? He's younger. He's probably half
Have you
my
made
age.
it out of your thirties yet?
Ah,
Have you made it out of your thirties yet?
physically I'm back.
Okay.
Texas.
Padre Island.
Oh, okay.